single, double personal workshops, petty cadets, street entrepreneurs like florists, fruits, vegetables, juice shops, puncture shops, the like. I have sent a detailed mail to all the Rotarians, actually listing the various kinds of entrepreneurs we are looking at. I am hoping that each Rotarian can get us at least 3 to 5 entrepreneurs in their area, from which the committee which we have will choose who can be helped to the best, because we need them to succeed. And when we are giving them funds, we would definitely like them to succeed. I have got a lot of response, some questions, some doubts, but very, very positive feedback. And we need to all get together and work. I'll very briefly run through some doubts, and then we have to pass it on to PDG Subbu. So the beneficiaries, I would prefer that you all choose from your area, for the very simple reason that it will be easy to get one-on-one with them, easy to decide. They will also have some form of trust because they know the person involved. You'll be surprised that a lot of people don't want to take money from somebody they don't know. We want to give preference to family businesses where there are women involved, the whole family is involved, where elderly people are involved, and obviously if they have children going to school. So for street vendors, we are budgeting up to about 25,000 rupees as an investment. It's an investment, it is not a loan. We are not expecting any returns from it, except that they succeed. For MSMEs, it could go up to a lakh of an investment, depending on how critical they are in. The MSME portion is being taken care of by President Sujesh. He's been tied up with legs in 2 camps. He'll sort that out this week, hopefully. And we are in discussions with an NGO called Bhumi, who is already doing this, and we are taking their help. I am looking at also discussions with another NGO so that we get 2-3 options. But Bhumi is what led me up this trail. And that's it for now. We need to have a whole meeting to discuss this in more detail, which we'll do a little later on. Thank you, President.
Thank you, Mukund. Now over to PDG Subbu. Sir, the screens are yours. So please unmute yourself, sir.
Suji's introduction first.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'll call upon Rotarian Madhu to introduce the speaker. Extremely sorry.
Madhu sir, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Rotary opens opportunities is a very interesting theme, and perhaps has a special relevance in these extraordinary times. Today, Rotarian PDG Subramaniam, better known as Rotarian Subbu, will discuss this theme and explain and elucidate its significance. He has been performing this annual service for the Rotary Club of Madras South for the past 6 years. A chemical engineer, Rotarian Subbu has some 40 years of professional experience and is the managing director of Pesco Beam Environmental Solutions. It carries out design and manufacturing operations in both India and the US. A member of the Rotary Club of Madras West since 1988, Rotarian Subbu became district governor in 2008-09. He is much in demand as a trainer because of his flair for clarity, lucidity, and wit. He has assisted several governors with their training programs. He is a major donor to the Rotary Foundation. As a governor, he called for a drive back to basics, something that has been a part of Rotary International's strategy for several years after that. He represented our Rotary district at the RI Council on Legislation in April 2013. He is currently the Zonal Water Coordinator for the Rotary India Water Mission. a person of varied interests. Rotarian Subbu is an avid reader. He enjoys swimming, music, sketching, and painting. Over to Rotarian Subbu.
Thank you very much, Rotarian Madhu, for the usual warm introduction that I get every time I come to the Rotary Club of Madras South. President Sujesh, Secretary Bala, I believe, right? Secretary Bala. I was expecting PDG Nagoji, but maybe he would join in a little later. Well, friends, let me first tell you that it is a very strange and a very sad feeling to come to a Rotary Club of Madras South meeting where I don't find Ramakrishna Raja, past Governor Ramakrishna Raja. Yes, time moves on, but then the fact of the matter is that I sorely miss him, and I do believe that the Southerners miss him even more because you have all been very closely associated with him. I pay my respects to his memory before I say anything at all at this meeting. I also want to place on record that I have stepped into the very large shoes of past Governor C.S. Ramachandran, who used to do this, coming and addressing your club at the first meeting of a Rotary year on the Rotary theme. And I do believe that if Madras South has selected me, it is indeed a great privilege for me to be here year on year and talk to you on the Rotary theme. Friends, let's first take a look at a little story. You know, young William, 18 years old, in a small town way out west in the United States, decided that it was time that he started doing something with his life and then made a success out of it. So he first thought that he would start running a carriage, a donkey-drawn carriage, and then he had heard that an old farmer in the town, a Jew, Gurari, was going to sell his donkey. So William decided to go to Gurari and then told, I would like to buy your donkey. Gurari looked at him and said, here is a young man, and even though I'm going to retire, my basic this thing is, let me make the best out of this deal. So he said that I can give my donkey to you for $20. So William said, I have only 10 with me, but give me a day's time. Let me go and borrow the other 10 and come back. I will take your donkey. Gurari was very happy that he had made a good deal. And William came the next day and then paid the $20. So Gurari said, okay, fine. You come tomorrow and take the donkey from my farm. It's there in my farm, so you can take it from my farm. The next day, William went and met Gurari and said, okay, I've come here to take the donkey. So Gurari said, I'm sorry, young boy, the donkey died last night. And force majeure conditions, there's no way by which I can return the money to you. And I'm very sorry about it. William started walking back. He knew he had put in $10 that all that he had into the so-called business that he was starting, and borrowed another $10 and decided that he would start the business. And as he was walking back, a thought struck him. So he came back to Gurari and told Gurari, okay, fine, Gurari, if the donkey is dead, doesn't matter, give me the dead donkey. So Gurari said, what are you going to do with the dead donkey? So William said, so leave it to me, I will handle it. A week later, Gurari was in town, and then he suddenly found that young William, having already bought a piece of land for his farm, and about how the young boy has been quite successful and starting off on his business venture. So Gurari was a little surprised, and he went across to William and asked William, listen, You spent all the money that you had and took a dead donkey home. What is it that you did? How did you manage? So William said, no, I thought about it. I said, okay, here is it that I have got a dead donkey with me. Let me see how best I make the best use of this dead donkey. So I decided, so I went into town and put up a little notice and said that I'm running a lottery where if anybody pays $2, they get a ticket, and the price for the lottery would be a donkey. I had about 100 people buying tickets at $2 a piece, and I got $200. And I picked the lots, and there was one person who won the lots. And when he came to take his donkey away, I told him that the donkey is dead and it's not possible for me to give the donkey, but that I am a true businessman, so I would return his $2 back to him. So he gave the $2 back to him, and he said at the end of it, the $10 I borrowed, the $2 I gave back, and my own $10 came back, and with the remaining money, I bought myself a piece of land and I've started farming. Friends, I say this story because behind every closed door, there is an opportunity that lies. All we have to do is to keep our wits around us and make sure that we look at the opportunity and not at the closed door. I believe when Rotary International President Holger Knack gave his theme, Rotary Opens Opportunities, he said that we Rotarians open opportunities for thousands of people in the world and give them a better life and make this world a better place to live in. And recently when I heard him, when he was stuck in his house in Germany, and he knew that it was not going to be possible for him to be traveling around the world due to the pandemic that we now are facing, he said that thanks to this pandemic, we are in a position to cut across country lines, and in an instant we are able to contact people, and we are having contact with millions of people across the globe if we want to. And he was talking about it in the context of his giving a lecture to, or his giving a talk to one of the Rotary forums here in India. Well, to my mind, I believe that every act of service, every opportunity, every act of service that we do is an opportunity that Rotary gives us. Rotary gives us this opportunity because we are Rotarians. I look at this theme slightly differently. I don't think, the first thing I believe is that the opportunity is what Rotarians get rather than what Rotarians could participate in drafting the UN Charter. Because we were Rotarians, we had an opportunity to participate in the Polio Plus. Because we were Rotarians, we had this opportunity to make the difference to thousands of lives through our projects and programs that we conduct each day in our Rotary clubs. Because to me, the real meaning is by being part of, we are the people who get the opportunities. Therefore, the first is our membership in Rotary. We need to appreciate the fact that we are connected with so many people in our own clubs. We need to do whatever that we can to strengthen the fundamental fabric called a Rotary Club. We need to participate to make our Rotary clubs or our own clubs. these are difficult. I'm sure that even if it is going to be virtual, we think out of the box and create the vibrancy of staying together. I believe that this is a great opportunity for somebody to think out of the box. I think it's a great opportunity for each one of us to come up with ideas that can keep our enthusiasm as members of Rotary, as members of a club going. I believe genuinely there are opportunities that are opening up where we never even thought existed. It is a time when we think a little different, and I do believe that clubs like the Rotary Club of Madras South or Madras West or wherever that we are, we will be in a position to come up with innovative ideas and ensure that we stay vibrant and are ready to meet each other the moment the world opens out. And as Sujesh said, we are in a position to start meeting each other face to face right across in a room and enjoy our fellowship. So my friends, I basically think this is an analogy which has stayed with me for a very long time. Take a look at a key. A key, if you look at it, is chipped and broken in many places. Now, there are multiple keys, and then if you take the right key and fit it into a lock and turn it, you hear a click. When you hear the click, the lock opens. We as humans, in which we can be fitted, and when we are fitted into the right lock, we will hear the click. To me, to all of us in Rotary, we get an opportunity to hear this click many times. And when you hear the click, then what happens is that a huge world opens in front of us. We elevate ourselves by using the opportunity. We become better human beings when we do that. So, in conclusion, let me say that Rotary opens opportunity is really a wonderful theme that is given to Rotarians. Kulkarnak may not have meant it, but it's probably an ideal theme for current situations where, for us, we have to start looking at every single opportunity to cherish the membership of being in a Rotary club, cherish the membership of our own club and our own networking, and make sure that we elevate ourselves as human beings. Thank you very much.
This question.
Yeah, please go.
This have many international meetings been cancelled? Many Rotary international meetings, have they been cancelled because of the coronavirus?
No, not exactly. What really, we were lucky in the sense that the International Assembly, which is the training place for the governors-elect, that got completed in January, and therefore that was the main meeting that got done. All others are meetings which can be held virtually, and therefore all the board meetings and everything else is happening virtually. And therefore, I don't think any major international meetings got cancelled, except, of course, all of us know that the Rotary International Convention, which was supposed to take place in Hawaii, that got converted into a virtual convention. I attended the virtual convention. It was yes, I mean, it did not have the flavor of physically traveling, going to Hawaii and then meeting across and people, but then they had done a fantastic job by making sure that all the elements of the convention was present, but it was virtual. Madhu, you know, and I know, I mean, however much, we try and do things virtually, what really happens is that, it's definitely not meeting face on face. If I were to have given this talk at Savera, as I usually would have done every year, of Bonhomie and talking to each other and things like that, Now we still meet, but then when I am talking, like what Sujesh said, talking to a screen is very different from talking to a group of people or talking to a single person. So no international major international meeting except the convention has been cancelled, and Rotary International has also issued a directive that Rotary clubs avoid having these face-to-face meetings or group meetings till the end of this calendar year, till December. And then probably they will give a directive depending upon how things are going on. But it's very unfortunate that the way things are going, I don't think we're going to have any kind of group meetings. I don't know whether we will be able to meet till about September. Maybe after September, they could probably open out. I don't know. If they do, what we would do, which is also something that we will have to take a call on.
Yeah, thank you.
Subbu, I have
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
okay. Every year, when we discuss this, when we find, the theme of the president is also has a reflection of where he's coming from. Americans are a certain way of calling it. Indian president a certain way of calling it. But he's a German president. German supposed to be very serious. How do you see? Does reflect the theme and the German citizenship reflect anything?
Yeah, see, normally when I do this talk, I always try and talk about the earlier themes and the current theme, but I don't. The word Rotary is there in the theme. I think it is more a decision that has been taken by Rotary International that the word Rotary needs to be there. Whereas in the earlier years, the word Rotary was not really part of the theme. Look beyond yourself did not have Rotary in it. That was Raja Sabu's theme. Similarly, if you are looking at earlier things, there was a theme which probably just said act. There was another theme which said enjoy Rotary. There they had Rotary, but then consistency, credibility, continuity did not have the word Rotary. But of late, every theme has got the word Rotary in it. I think that is some kind of a dictum that has been made. The second thing is that Rotary is really a purely German theme. I think it is a fantastic theme. I do remember, Magdoum, the theme that during your year, I think it was, can you recall your theme?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, you put me in a
Makes a
spot.
difference.
Yeah.
I mean, Rotary makes the difference. Rotary makes the difference.
Yeah, Rotary makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, Rotary makes the difference. And I could come out with a very humorous kind of a story to start off that when it came to making the difference. But then between all these and between even considering some of the recent themes, Rotary opens opportunities is a fantastic theme. It is really the truth in the sense that both for Rotarians as well as outsiders, we are the ones who are actually opening out opportunities. And I would think that it's a very universal theme. I don't think it's a very German theme. A German theme would have been something like, okay, behave yourself or something like that. I don't know.
This directive by the Rotary International not to have meetings till the end of this year, if our government permits a meeting earlier, can we go ahead and have physical meetings?
I think we should be able to. All we probably have to do is to work through our directors and inform Rotary International. And if it's a law, see, one very important thing about Rotary is that whatever Rotary may give as guidelines or as constitution or as bylaws, they always say that the law of the land is very important. So follow the law of the land. So if our government says, yes, you can meet, I don't see any reason why we cannot meet.
Any more questions?
No, I have one more. No,
Yeah.
the decisions of the, Rotary International, or how much influence the RI president has got on the team. Sometimes looks like there is a team of branding managers who decide on the team, and then the president just endorses it. True.
Okay. I mean, the only time I have had a chance to talk about how a president decides his theme was during the year when I was governor, when D.K. Lee, he came to Chennai before he actually assumed the mantle of RI president. So at that time, when we were having an informal dinner with him, we were talking, and then he was talking about picking up his tie, though he didn't say what was the color of his tie or what was the design of his tie, and also about the theme. What I understand is that there is a team, there is a professional team that does work on it, but they do take the RI president's personal desire on how he would like the team to lean on. For instance, this is just a guess that I'm making. Holger Nack would have said that opportunity is what I would like to talk about, and then they may have come up with half a dozen things, and then he would have picked them. Because they want it to be simple, at the same time effective, and the RI president-elect also has an opportunity to take a look at the various things depending upon his own personal thing. For instance, D.K. Lee, when he was giving his theme, he's from Korea. And if you see, the Korean flag is blue and red. And he also said that I am interested in emphasizing on preventing infant mortality. That was basically what he was trying to say. So I think they finally came up with a mother holding on a child, and the color was, the theme was blue and red. And make dreams real, I think, was something that the professional group came up with, which he liked out of a bunch of things that were given. It's a combination, but ultimately the president does have a say on how he wants to have his. All the Indian RI presidents, Magdum, if you see, their themes have always been internalizing. They have looked inward. All the Indian RI presidents have looked inward. Then now the themes are going towards Rotary's contribution, some kind of what Rotary can do to this world, bigger, bolder, better, all the other building bridges. Then, there are other themes that have happened. Last year's theme itself was, can you remember last year's theme? I'm not able to immediately.
Connecting.
Connecting. So, from connecting, here's opening opportunities, Rotary opens opportunities. I would guess that that's the way we will go for the next few years, till there is some kind of a change, and at the board level, they decide that why don't we have a different kind of a look-see into the whole.
Subbu, I have a question. Good evening, Subbu.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is yeah. See, the themes are actually, we hear the first meeting in our Rotary Club, and it is in the logo and so on. After which, is the spirit of the theme, or is there any continuity for the theme and so on at a club level, at a Rotarian level? Because a lot of things are similar. I don't see any impact it has at a Rotarian level or a Rotary Club level. So how does it work? What is the whole purpose of this theme?
Venkatesh, the actual thing is, a governor is expected to promote the theme constantly. But then that emphasis seems to be missing in, of late. In earlier years, if you see, every speech that a governor gives, he tries to conclude by linking it to the theme of the year. And unfortunately, what has happened is that nothing has flown from the theme. You're very right. There is a theme that has been given, but then does a year's program flow from the theme? If it does, then it kind of connects to the team. I think that's exactly what you're asking. Is there any kind of flow of program or projects or emphasis that is going to connect us to the team? The answer is no. It is simply an inspirational statement that is made, and the RI president, if you notice, every month when he sends out his monthly communication, he would connect to the team. Now, are the governors connecting to the team every time they speak? The answer is it's very doubtful. There are some who do, some who don't. Where I believe that it's always correct that you should connect to the team. I believe every Rotary International representative to a district conference must connect to the team. It is one of the mandates that are given to him that he should connect to the team when he is making his first speech at the conference. But beyond that, I don't know how much of impact a team is having on the working of Rotary on a yearly basis.
Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Question. I think one positive aspect of the present situation is that a lot of money is being saved by way of hotel accommodation, dinners, receptions, and so on. None of them. So, is there any decision on how to use this money? Does it go to the Rotary Foundation, or is there any other use for the money saved?
Okay, I mean, I do believe that a huge amount of money is being saved. Yeah, you're very, very right. At the international level, the amount of travel that would have been reduced for 6 months, or it's almost going to be a year, because starting from February, people have stopped traveling, and then it will go on. If it goes on till about December, then a lot of money is going to be saved. That is a decision, I think. There have, Madhu, now that you're asking me, people have even asked Rotary International, why don't you reduce the per capita fees? In as much as you are not really having that kind of an expenditure, at least for the first half of the next Rotary year, why can't per capita fee be reduced? I think Rotary International has said that no, we will not do that, because the fixed expenses that we are having at the various Rotary offices are continuing. All the other saving is what we will have to see, and we would not know how much has been saved till we actually save it. I don't think, this is my personal opinion, I don't think that this money from the administrative account would be transferred to the foundation, because foundation is already having a lot of money. And while the thought seems to be right, but I don't think Rotary International will do that. It will keep it as some kind of a reserve and reflect it in the accounts. Beyond that, I don't think they will do anything to the saving be transferred. That's may not happen like we do in clubs, they not happen in Rotary International.
Thank you.
Yeah. One question, anybody?
Not necessarily on the theme. Anything that you think if it's good for discussing, we can always discuss.
If there are no more questions, I request Rotarian Shamla Jayaprakash to propose a vote of thanks.
Shamla, you have to unmute. Shamla, you have to unmute.
Thank you, Sujesh, and thank you, PDG Subbu. Always an excellent talk to kickstart our Rotary year. We always go back, enthused by your talk, and you always give a different angle to the themes. And I have just one personal question. Do you remember what our theme was in our year? Because I don't remember it. You're always a front bencher in Rotary, and I'm the last bencher. So I'm just asking you. You seem to be remembering all the themes.
Our theme was consistency, credibility, continuity.
Oh God, you remember it. I mean, thank you so much. Thank you, Subbu. And thanks everyone.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, friends. I mean, in conclusion, I just want one word saying that these are times when all of us will have to start working towards keeping our clubs vibrant. That's my request to all of you. So please do work on it and then make sure that that's the objective till we actually are able to get out into this world.
Thank you, sir. We'll definitely bear that in mind. Thank you. We'll work on that. And this meeting of the Rotary Club of Madras South is adjourned.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Any fellowship there, Rasujish? Any fellowship organized?
Online fellowship.
Yeah.